We all know about Robert E. Lee, the Confederate general, but this story is not about any Civil War battles or any great military accomplishments. No, this video is about a man near the end of his life in failing health who wished to visit the grave of his daughter. The name of this story is A Father's Loss, and it all occurred around 1870 in Warren County. I think you may enjoy this story. I hope you do. So come along with me and let's go for a ride. Robert E. Lee and his wife Mary had 7 children. They had 3 boys and 4 girls. This story mainly pertains to the 2 middle girls. They were Annie and Agnes. Remember Agnes because she'll be important later in the story. Before the Civil War broke out, the Lee family lived at Arlington. That's where the cemetery is today, right at Washington, D.C. And they, by all accounts, lived an ideal life there, what you would imagine a Southerner in the 1800s would be. He once said that the most beautiful flowers at Arlington were his 4 daughters. So he definitely cared a great deal about his family, especially his daughters. When the Civil War broke out, 1861, General Lee and his 3 sons, they went off to war. If you know where Arlington is, it's right near Washington, D.C., and it wouldn't be safe for the women to stay at the plantation during the war, so they had to move south. And Mary, Mr. Lee's wife, and the 4 girls, they came to a little resort called Jones Spring, which was a few miles south of Warrenton, North Carolina. And that's where they had intended to stay, at least for a while, during the war. In October of 1862, Annie got real sick. She had contracted typhoid fever, and in October the 20th of 1862, Annie died. It was impossible to return to Arlington to bury her. The Jones family that ran the springs where the Lee women were spending the war allowed them to bury Annie in their private cemetery. And the Lee family was very grateful for that. And that is what they did. They buried her in their private cemetery right there outside of Warrenton. Robert E. Lee was not able to attend his daughter's funeral. He was needed at the front. The war was just heating up well, so he was not able to attend. So now we move forward a few years. Now it's 1870. The war is 5 years gone by. We all know the results of that. But now Mr. Lee, his health is not good at all. His family and friends wish that he would go south and take a vacation, take some time off. He was a professor at the college at Lexington, Virginia. And he knew his health was not good. And he didn't know if he would have another opportunity to come and visit Annie's grave. So in March of of 1870, Robert E. Lee and his daughter Agnes boarded a train in Richmond and headed south, coming right toward Warren County, North Carolina. They did not want to create any stir, and so they did not let anyone know ahead of time that they were coming. So there were no crowds, or that's what they wished, there would be no crowds. We're here at Warren Plains at the depot for the Raleigh to Gaston train line. On March 28th of 1870, Robert E. Lee and his daughter Agnes left Richmond at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They rode the train from Richmond and headed here. They arrived here at 10 o'clock at night. They had not made any reservations because they didn't want to tip off anyone that they were coming. So they arrived here at 10 o'clock at night. Robert E. Lee steps off the train with his daughter Agnes. I'm sure they had several large luggage cases. They had a lot of trunks back in those days, so I'm sure they had at least 2 large trunks. The train ran right along this side. You see, it's an antique store now. Luckily, it's still here. They've saved it. It's pretty good shape for the building it is. But they would have unloaded off the dock, and you can imagine the train line was coming down through what's woods now. And it would have big old steam engine huffing and puffing. It would have rolled down through here. And this is where Robert E. Lee and his daughter stepped off the train on that night in March of 1870. Like I said, it's amazing it's still here. This will end part 1 of my video about Robert E. Lee coming to visit his daughter's grave. The next part, we head to Warrenton, and I think you'll enjoy that just as much. Thank you for watching.